right. Hello. Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone, to our daily fmtraining.tv live stream. My name is Miles Debski, coming to you today from up in Portland, Oregon. Richard's out today, but we got a great stream in store. We're going to have Nick Hunter here continuing on our dynamically programmable data fields in FileMaker. This is part of either 4, maybe 5 day streams that we're doing. Just the little housekeeping to start off. We are fmtraining.tv. Lots of training on the FileMaker platform. In addition to this daily stream, we have some great video courses here in some different bundles, just video or actually with a copy of FileMaker Pro. Richard has also written some books on these topics that pair great with those videos. And we also offer coaching, just a lot of things on here. So check out fmtraining.tv, also rcconsulting.com, and our whole schedule's up here too, so you can see what's coming up. Just a heads up, we will be off this coming Monday for Labor Day. We're broadcasting 3 platforms, to Twitch, Discord, and to YouTube. So thanks for joining us on all those. Looks like people are trickling in. Discord, just running through real quick. Sorry if I mispronounce things, but we got Stu, Agent Chevy, Brudderman, Ed Burkle, Foxy Jack, Gudidi, John, Labo, Larry, Mikey M. Johnson, Peter, Scott, and then we also have some more over on Twitch. They're chiming in. We got ND and we got bunch of numbers, 626, maybe that's Stitch, from Spain, and we got Matt Crawford and Michelle over on YouTube. So welcome everyone. We got a Discord chat going if you want to join there, join in the fun. That's kind of all I have. I don't want to take up most of Nick's time, so I'm just going to hand it over to him, and we can dive in.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Miles. So thank you for joining in today. This the second day. Sorry for my voice. I try to do my best, but thank you for joining in today. And this is the second day of the webinar about the programmable fields. Customer, how you call that? How the boss called that? I forgot about it.
Dynamically programmable data fields.
Oh, dynamically programmable data field. Oh, okay, very
rolls off the tongue. Yeah.
but it's kind of the right description of what it is. Yesterday I did a demonstration of the advantage of using a system like this. Okay, so it's a combination of so many things together. So we can review a little bit the combination of what it is. It's a combination of a virtual listing system, because this is what it is. It's a virtual list. I mean, you create a list of records, and then with this list, you are going to show and hide things based on this on what you decide to show and hide. Okay, it used heavily Pisos, because you need a server to do that. You need to execute the transfer of the matrix of the of what you want to the product or to the asset or whatever. You need that to be fast. You don't want to be something that you have to wait for, and you don't want you don't want to see anything. You don't want a new window to pop up. You don't want a spinning wheel to pop up. You don't want that. So for that, you need to use Pisos. Secondly, what you need to use import, export, import. That's a technique I laid down in another webinar. Export, import. You export data and then you import data, right? So you export data from one table and you import data from another table. But don't worry, we are talking about 5-6 fields to export and import. So it's not a big deal. There's no calculation. There's nothing heavy. Something you need to know about import, export, since I'm talking about this. The export and the import will be slow most of the time, because you have attached to it a bunch of auto entry calculation and a bunch of lookup and stuff like that. This is why most of the time import are slow. Okay, so because recently I had the experience of importing millions of records, and the person never could get that done because it was taking days to import, and I got that to in, let's say, 1 hour done the import instead of days, by deactivating all the auto entry and all the lookups, and then you do that later. Okay, but import export is slow only when you have a lot of auto entries and a lot of lookups. Most of the time when I use the import export, I deactivate completely the auto entry, or I have auto entry extremely narrow and small, right? So that's the first thing. So you have virtual listing, PSOS, import export. Then you have the usage of related value lists, and that we are going to lay down this in another webinar in the future, in the near future. We are going to talk about this. So I'm not going to talk too much about the value lists. I'm just going to refer to them. Okay. So, and of course, we are going to use a lot, I said a lot, hide condition, visual condition on objects, because we are going to use many different objects, and we are going to show them and to hide them on demand. Okay. So, and this is what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, I'm not going to talk about PSOS, and I'm going to talk about next week. But I want to talk about the visual. So, how you get things transferred from one table to another is secondary. What you need to know is how thing works. Okay, so let me show you. So yesterday we showed that when you go to the property fields, right, you can have directly, you have your stuff here. So you have your property fields, and you can create properties, and you can delete properties, and you can, okay. And for each properties, you have a type of object. This is in blue. Well, everything I put in blue is
Nick,
kind of important.
we're not seeing your screen right now.
Yeah. Oh, sorry for that. Yeah. So this is what I was showing yesterday, right? So you are defining in one table, you are defining the matrix, what you want the property to be like, right? So you define your matrix. You can define the matrix the way you want, but the technique's the same. So for each field that you want, for each record that you want to show as a field, because this is the technique, you create record, and you use the record to display them as a field. To use this, let's take the same example that I have yesterday, the Lamborghini. Okay. So you have text, numbers, date, time, and separator. So when you want a field that is a text, let's say you want first name, okay, or first name, for example, and you want, for example, last name, okay. I don't remember what owner name, okay, for the owner, okay, owner, and you want model. I don't remember what we had yesterday, but anyway. So and you have text, and then you say yesterday I was saying, so inferred, you say you want date, you want the service, the service date, okay. So you want the service date, and it's a date. And it's a date, you want that to be a calendar. So here you have two things. You define the type of what it is, and then you define the behavior. The behavior is pretty much what FileMaker is calling the behavior. Okay. The behavior is a checkbox, a radio button, pop-up, an edit box, okay, pretty much. And here in for active. In for, we have a number, and we say that the year, okay, that the year, and here we say for the model, we say we want the pop-up menu. Remember that? Okay. So we have many different type of objects, and behavior. So what am I referring to? So let me show you. Why I call that behavior? Why I call that behavior? Because FileMaker calling that behavior. Okay, so it's this, it's this, the field. Okay, so it's what it is. It's this edit box, drop down, pop up, checkbox, radio button. So you have the same here. I have a value list here. That's exactly the same thing. Okay, you have edit box, drop down menu, pop up menu, radio button, checkbox, calendar, and perform script. That is another story. So so you have the same, pretty much the same list here. So this is what I call behavior. And what is the type? The type is what FileMaker called the type is this, type. This is type of field, number, dates, time, container, etc. Okay. So this is what I'm referring to, and this is what I'm referring to. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a field. I'm going to use a record to display a field, and the type of field will depend on what I declare here. Okay. So how we do that, how we can display, sometime we can display our a pop-up menu. Sometime let's look back. Okay, when we can display sometime a value list, sometime a radio button, sometime like here. This is a value list, right? This is a radio button with a value list. This is another value list with a radio button. And and if you go somewhere else, you will have a date somewhere. Here you have a calendar. Here you have a number. Here you have a pop-up menu with a value list, another value list. Okay, how we do that? How we can get one unique row in a portal, because this is the portal. We're displaying this. Okay. Before FileMaker 17, what I'm going to show you was pure madness. Okay, so what I'm going to show you was pure madness before FileMaker 17. I was making it working because I like to feel the pain, but it was a nightmare before 17, and I'm going to explain you why. Because this is what you see. This is what you see when you first open this file. You see something like this, and you say, okay, what the heck is going on there? Okay, what the heck is going on? You have all those fields, all those objects overlapping on each other. Okay, so you have all those objects overlapping on each other. Imagine. Okay, that you don't have the object tree. Just imagine you don't have the object tree. It's pure madness. And the object tree, and you cannot hide object like this, okay? Because now it's easy. Now it's easy because you can hide object, right? You can pretty much hide everything, right? So now it's very, very easy to do that. In the past, it was pure madness. So you understand now how it works. I have here, to make the thing easy to understand, I pretty much create groups of objects, okay? So you have the group of the date fields, the group of the number fields, and the group of the text fields. And the time, there's no group because there's one type of fields for time, okay? And Lamborghini. Oh, Lamborghini. No, it's a new Colombian way to pronounce Lamborghini. And so here I have regrouped together the type of field. So let's go first with the text fields. So when you are telling the system, remember, we say, okay, I want this to be text. Remember the field type, you say, I want that to be text. And then inside, you have all the text possible, all the possibilities. Edit box, drop down, pop up, checkbox, radio button. Right? So you have one exemplary of the same field. It's the same field all the time. Value text, value text, value text, value text, value text. It's the same field all the time. Okay? So it's one field for text, but I have one field for text. It's a text file, so it's defined as a text file. This one in my property field, the value text here, property item. The value text here is a text field, but I have multiple versions of this because I have the one showing as the edit box, the one showing as the drop down, the one showing. So each time here, you change the behavior. And you guessed it. Now that I have this, you can say, oh, if the behavior is different than pop-up menu. Okay. So this is a good way. This is a good opportunity for me to tell you about talk to you about something. Sorry about that. With my voice, I have to force a little bit. I am not saying. Let's say I want that to disappear. Okay, I want that to appear only when it's edit box. Here, what I'm saying in the object condition, visually condition, I'm saying if it's different than edit box, hide it, because the hiding object, it's a negativity, it's a negative question. It's hide when. It's not show when. So I don't want to say show when it's not a drop down, it's not a pop-up, it's not a radio, it's not a check. No, you're not doing this. You say when it is not an edit box, hide it. Okay? You understand? When it is, because sometimes I'm seeing people say, okay, when it is a pop-up, when it is a drop down, when it is a radio button or checkbox, when it is all of this, don't show it. No. You say when it's not what it should be. You say when it's not what it should be, hide it. Because now if I add a new type of object or whatever, it will work automatically, because it just say if it's not what I want it to be. Okay, like here the same. Here what I'm saying, look, playing with it. Okay, I'm saying if it's not this, or if it's not this one, if it's not, why you said edit box all the time? I think I have a edit box radio. Okay, yeah, when it's radio button here when it is a checkbox, right? Here when it is, okay, hold on. When it is a pop-up, why is it always an edit box? I might have a bug here. Anyway, but you understand the point here. Okay. So for all of those, I have a group of objects. So first, I have a condition on each of those groups. I have a condition. I hide this if it's not a date. Okay. I'm saying it's not a date, hide it. I'm hiding this if it's not a number. It's not a number, hide it. I'm hiding it if it's not an edit box. If it's not an edit box, if not a text, hide it. No, text, number, date. So you have the first hiding condition done by this one. And then inside, you have other conditions here. Like for example, here, it's the same. I hide and show that, and then I tell them, okay, if it's not an edit box, if it's not a drop down, okay, yeah, definitely have a bug. If it's not a pop-up menu, if it's not a checkbox, etc., etc. This is done on the first level, and this is done on the second level. So grouping those objects gives me two big advantages. The first advantage is that I can identify them easily in the tree. In the tree, I can now identify them very easily. Imagine that they're all scattered. Imagine that I don't have the group, okay? It's a nightmare. I have two edit boxes the same here, right? But here with a value list, with the value number, and this is with the value text, okay? And so the group is grouping them, and then I can read them easily. But the second big advantage, it's I can tie here a first level of hiding object, and then I don't have to take care of this on this one. I don't need to say if the type of field equal different of edit of text and the behavior different of edit box. I don't need to do that. I don't need to say this T18F type, field type different of number, okay? And I don't need to do that. I don't need, because this condition is already taken care of there. So I just need to show hide based on the behavior, because this is done already, right? So this is a good trick also. When you want to do multiple levels of hiding objects, you can just create a group, and then you can hide the first level and take care of the second level. Use the group attribute for the first level and the second level inside the field. That's the group is a good tip. So do we have any question here? I don't see any question.
Let me check the. Nope, nothing so far.
No. Okay. Cool. So now you understand what's going on here. So the difficulty here was to construct this, okay? And that's why I built it for you. So with the object tree, it's very simple. So let's hide all of this and show only the text. So you have the text here, okay? So let's deconstruct this, okay? So let's go there, duplicate this, and deconstruct. Okay. So I deconstruct this. So you can see it's, okay, let's get rid of it. Okay, get rid of this. Okay, so you understand what's going on now. It's the same field with different attribute, with different behavior. This is the checkbox, this is the value list, this is the drop down, this is the radio, this is the edit pop-up menu, and this is the edit box. Okay, so you have all of this. Okay, so now you can see here I have the same value list that is attached to it. It's a value list that is going to pop up, is going to populate on the fly based on the relationship. Okay, so that's why it's based on the name of the field. So I base that on the name of the field, on the name of the property title here. This is how I'm building this. Now the best way is to use an ID, but for the purpose of the demo, because this file is a demo, I didn't want to go too far and to make that too complicated. So pretty much how the value list is going to be connected to that record is because of the name of the property. When the name is model, for example, and you have a value list named model, bam, automatically the link is done, and you see the values in the list. It's the same value list here. It is the same value list I'm using always, right? The same value list, same value list, same value list. Because I never show twice this. I never show twice of them. Two examples of them. I show one of them only. Okay, so depending on the behavior. Okay. As you can see, also I have a conditional. So why I have a conditional? Just because for the remember for the mandatory stuff, the mandatory kind of a thing, you have a conditional. So you can attach a conditional based on whatever you want. Like for example, like I have a tag show here. Okay, so I have a conditional, and of course I have also here. I have also a placeholder. So the placeholder for me is that I want to say if it's mandatory or not mandatory. So you have a word on the placeholder. You have a word coming, but you can do whatever you want with this. You can have in the properties here, in this list here. Let's go here. Okay. In this list here, you can have kind of another field to say, oh, I want this in the placeholder, right? You can type yourself what you wanted to show in the placeholder, right? So that's what you can do. So you can bring back all the attributes of the fields that normally you do here, or you do here, or you do here, right? All these attributes, you can bring them back. So you everything was into a list of fields here. So you got all those attributes, and then you bring them back into the fields to make the appearance of this being a field and a custom field, and not being like one field in a portal. It's a custom field in the portal. I guess you could, okay, we have a question here. I guess you could group easily with slide control before FileMaker 17 and hide stuff. Yes, okay, I could have used slide control here, but yes and no. I'll tell you why, Robert. In that case, I prefer the group, because otherwise, here's the problem. Because the slide control as an embedded object has limitation. And let me explain you the limitation. Let's say I have a slide control. Okay, I have this slide control, and to use as a group, and I have object in this slide control. I have object in this slide control, and in this slide control, I have another slide control. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. So I have this slide control inside this one. So far, so good. But what happened? What happened when you have one slide control that is sized exactly the same? Exactly the same. Because I need a slide control for the text, a slide control for the number, a slide control for the date, and they are all overlapping each other. Okay, so what happened? So I have my two slides. Okay, slide control and slide control. Okay, so what happened when I do this? One way you have okay. So now one slide is inside the other one. You see, it's because they are exactly the same size, 430/27, 430/27. So if you overlap them really well, they're going to get embedded in each other. See? So what you need to do to prevent that, you need to make sure that you are one smaller, one bigger, and if you have a third one bigger, to prevent the overlapping and to get embedded. And you need to do that. You need to do the smaller one first, the bigger one second, and the larger one third. Otherwise, embedded inside the embedded. So that's why yes, slide control on the portal you can. Yeah, you can. Slide control. Right. You can forget about slide control. Look, we can put slide control in the portal. We can. You can't. Spaceman's piece is right. You can. So forget about slide. But anyway, it was a good demonstration for the slide control. That when you need to have multiple objects, multiple groups that overlap each other at the same place and the same size, slide control is no longer a good technique. Okay, so that's why, it's because I just demonstrated. Right? So do we? Well, that's thinking. Someday we'll be able to control everything with object panel from the object panel. Oh, you meant, yeah, for that the object tree. Yes, I hope so. I hope one day we can just reflow, the slides, because now it's a pain. For example, to reflow the slide. Oh, by the way, do you know that you can reflow the slide controls? Oh, yeah. So this is good. It's a good demo. Let's say I have here, I have 3 slide control. 1, 2, 3. I have 3. One slide control with 3 panels. Okay. And this is panel 1. This is panel 2. And this is panel 3. And you say, oops, I made a mistake. Because I want to reverse. I want the 1 to be there and the 3 to be there. How you do that? Because unfortunately, FileMaker didn't do a good job here. I mean, they didn't finish the job. That's the problem. And many things they do, they don't finish the thing. I can seize this and put it on top, and seize this and put it on. I cannot. I cannot. So how to reflow slide control? You double click and you show the navigation dots. Show the navigation dots. And then you select you see here, you click, but here you can select the navigation dot. You click and hold, and you drag. So now this one is on the 3rd position. Now you say, I want the one. You select, you click and hold, and you reflow. Right? So this is how you reflow slide control, by showing the dots. But it's why they if we can do it with the dots, why we cannot do it with this? Anyway. So do we have any question here? Agent Chevy, no question. Nick Trick in the back. Sorry for my voice. I really apologize, but anyway, we do what we have. So now this is what's the text. So the text, you have this, and this. Okay. So now, what about the numbers? Numbers, we have the same possibility. You have the possibility. You can have numbers as an edit box. You can have numbers at the drop down. You can have numbers at the pop-up, numbers at the checkbox, and the radio button. So pretty much they are like a field. But this is coming from another field named value number. Okay. So if I go there and I show here, I have this, and this, and this, 4 types. And they are each fields are declared. Each field are declared by what the type they are, because this is the point. The point is to display the type of field you need. If you declare a virtual field, if you declare a virtual field date, you want the behavior of a date. If you said, oh, it's a text, it's a number, you want the behavior of a number. Okay. So and text, same for text and same for time. Okay. So that's why you have 4 versions of a field. You have 4 different fields with the 4 different types that we commonly use. Okay. And you show them and you display them. Now, for each type of fields, you can have different behavior, different formats. Okay, you can have the edit, the drop down, the box, and the radio. Right? So this is what I'm doing here. Now, let's say I want to show the dates, because this is where the thing is going to differ a little bit. I cannot have it doesn't make any sense to have a number field as a calendar. Did it? Do you? Does it make sense to have? Does it make sense to have a drop-down calendar in a number field? No, because you won't be able to display the date anyway. So that's why the drop-down calendar is an option only for the drop-down for the date. So dates, I have only 2 choices. Okay, date, I have only 2 choices. I have the drop down calendar choice, right? And the what's the name? The drop down calendar choice and the edit box. Let's say the non-drop calendar and the drop calendar, right? That's why I'm doing this. So another question with David Angel: could you use text field with evaluate filter to behave as a number field? Yeah, you can. Of course, you can. You could obviously, if you want that to happen, very easily, you have a text field and you say get as number, okay, self. Okay, and you got it. That's it, because I have this behavior, this parameter behavior that's let me do that. So you can do that. Is that the question you want to, is that you are referring to, David? Question, another question from Amco. Is it the same way to implement more behaviors such as signature barcode? Of course. Amco, you can do that. You can expand that. I did okay. My purpose was text and the date and the number. That's what I need. And okay, that's what I need. And time. But you can put containers. You can put signature. You can put all of those. Of course, you can do all what you. Okay, you can use that technique for everything that you have here, right? And you can use that technique, of course, for all the behavior that you have, and you can extend the extension. I'm going to explain you right now. Okay, I'm going to explain to show you how you can expand that even more. Okay, so but before I want to show you the so you show the dates, and of course we have the unique one, which is the time field. A time field, I don't want anything. You don't have a drop calendar. Doesn't make any sense to have it. I mean, in my use, doesn't have any sense to have a date, time field with a kind of like with a drop down or with or a checkbox. I didn't see the point to have this in my example. So that's why I have only one. And I don't have a group. I don't need a group because it's a unique field. So here I think we have a question coming. Do we have any questions, Miles, from our YouTube and Twitch?
We do not. Just the Discord one so far.
Okay, yeah. Discord is always the most live audience. A color picker, yeah. Label said, yeah, you can expand that. You can have a color picker, of course. You can have a color picker. And to set the field with the color. You can put the color, most of the time I'm using the technique of texting, making the color our kind of calculation, right? I guess the time field is new in the version 1.2. Oh, because you don't have it? Maybe it's a new field. I don't know. So now that we have this, I'm going to show you how we can expand that. Here, for example, I have numbers. Not this one. I have number field, but I have number fields, but numbers can have multiple different behavior here. So what can we do? Of course, we can have the style here, the control style. Okay. But also, you could have, for example, I want a version that I can browse and a version I cannot browse. You know what I mean? So let's say I want to do that. I want to have a number fields, editable, and a number field not editable. So I have my group here. I'm going to duplicate my group. Oops. My group, copy and paste. I have two groups now. And you notice that I didn't ungroup them. Okay. And I'll rename this non-editable. Okay? For example. non-editable. So this is my group, and I can open this. Then I can show you how to use the object tree, right? So I didn't ungroup anything. I didn't move anything. I didn't do anything. Just I'm selecting this and I say, okay, browse mode, no. Browse mode, no. Browse mode, no. Browse mode, no. And browse mode, no. So now I have a group that is completely not editable. Okay. So this group here, okay, is being displayed if it's a number, okay, non-editable. Editable. Okay, so now I have two groups of numbers. I have this one here, so I'm going to put it here. Okay, so I don't know if I'm centered. Okay, centered. So now I have two groups. Okay, I have this one, and I'm going to make it close to this one. I have a number field non-editable and a number field normal. Okay, so now what I can do here, I'm going to change this. Okay, I'm going to change this value list here and just say add a new type. Okay, so I can do this separator number non-editable editable, okay, and another separator. Okay, so I have text number. Okay. So now I'm going to choose the Lamborghini. Yeah, I cannot rename this, but never mind. I'm going to add the text, the number non-editable in 5. Let's say I want I don't know, a date. Okay, purchase date, for example. No, added date. For example, added date, and I want get current date. Current date. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to use this trick here. As you enter your FileMaker kind of a function, you can use the autocomplete using existing values, and then you can get it back. Okay, so you don't have to struggle typing it. So and then you can get something like that, gets, and you have all the gets. See, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I have a non-editable added date. So now let's go back to their assets and asset, and let's add a new one with the Lamborghini. Okay, so added date. Oh, I forgot to. Yeah, but this version unfortunately is full of bugs, and I apologize for that. I don't have a good version shared on the server, but anyway, you understand that here you cannot edit. It's not editable. I don't know why I cannot have it. I cannot get it to fill up the get current date. Get current date, yeah. I don't know why. So I can try with another thing. But anyway, so you understand what I'm doing. I'm going here. If I'm doing the same here with our what's the name? If I'm changing this to number. Oh, it's a number. That's why it's not a date. No, we cannot do a date. Okay. Added year. That's why it doesn't show. I think so. It's year of get current date. Okay. So let's try like this. Okay. I think this is why. So let's create a new one and Lamborghini, and the same crap. Okay, now we're back. So you understand what's going on here. it's not letting you edit the field. Okay, so now you can do exactly the same thing for many things. You can duplicate and say, for example, let's do this, for example, and you say, I want that to be a currency. Okay, so you change that and you say, okay, I want that to be a currency. Now it's different. It's currency. Okay, so, and I want to change this and change that into currency. Okay, and I want to change all of those fields and to make this, okay, I can select all of them. And I say I want to browse them. So I select all of them. Inside the group, I select all of them. I said, I want to browse them, but I want them to be a currency with 2 decimal, right? And I want to have the logo, and I want that to be based on the system setting. So now I have a new group of currency. So if I go to the system here and I go there and I change this value list, right? And I change the name this, and I change the name and I say, okay, currency, right? And I change this into currency and price. Okay. So now if I go back to my list here, go back to the assets, a new Lamborghini. So now it's a currency, okay? So see, now it's just that the server needed time to update the layouts and all the thing, right? So it needs like a, sometimes it need like a 20 second or 10 second, and I've done this immediately after, so that's why. So, but now you got the point. Now I have a currency here. Okay, so so you see how powerful it can be to have. So pretty much what you can do here. My point here is to explain to you that all what you have as a field parameter here, and that include keyboards, the keyboard, the input, the touch keyboard, the carriage returns. So you can have a group of the version of everything you want, and thanks to the object tree, it is no longer a pain to do it. You saw me doing it. Let's say I can continue doing it. You go there, you duplicate this, and you continue, and you say you want percentage, you want I don't know, whatever you want, right? It's up to you. You can decide everything you want, and just by changing the behavior here, just by with those 2 fields here, the behavior and the type. Okay. So do we have any other questions here? No. Okay.
The only one I thought there was one more on Discord. If you go 3 up, David Angel asked, "How is it being stored in the table?"
How is it being stored in the table?
Not sure if that.
What do you mean? What do you mean, David?
Yeah.
It's a field. It's a FileMaker field. Okay. So here, what I'm doing. Let me explain to you. How does it find? How does a find on those fields behave? Actually, you don't find on those fields. You find on one field. Okay, let me explain. You have a table here, so you go to the table. Assets, property items. Okay. I'm importing. Here how we do. I'm going to show you, to explain to you a little bit of next week, okay? But next week I'm going to how I import this and how I dispatch this, okay? How I dispatch this, okay? So I'm searching, I'm importing the data in one field. So I'm importing everything from the table, from this table to this table. I'm importing everything inside one field. Okay. So, and when you what's the name? When you dispatch this, I do this. You have an auto entry calculation. That's do this. So pretty much. So you have an import and an export, and then you dispatch on this. And okay, you see. So you import this. When you import the value, for example, let's say you have a kind of you import and you evaluate something. When you want to evaluate something, I'm importing everything in one field. Okay, and then after that, I dispatch on those. Okay, but if you want to search the values, okay, if you want to search, you need to define one field where you want to search. But normally, technically, I'm not searching in the field. I'm searching in one field here. But I'm going to explain that next week because I'm struggling because it's missing pieces. It's missing many pieces that you need to know before. That's why I'm struggling because I need to. So if I'm continuing, I'm going to explain. I'm going to start the webinar of next Tuesday. So I don't want to do that. Question: how does the parameter get implemented in the behavior? See, yes, that I'm going to show you that. So when you import the thing, so let me open a better version of this. Okay, let me open FM Launchpad. Okay. So I'm going there. Okay. So here, where do you evaluate? Value import. I don't remember where I put the evaluate. Here, so you have the parameter. And I have a script in the script. Okay, so when you do the importation, so let me show you. I first use that. I first use our auto entry calculation to do the evaluation, but I got some issues, and I took the advantage that I was using a PSOS 2785. I'm using a PSOS, so I'm doing kind of a replace inside the PSOS, right? So, but this is from the next week, okay? So I'm going to export. I'm going to explain next week how to perform the evaluation. It's a replace somewhere. Subscript update server here. I don't know. It's a replay somewhere. I don't see it right now, but I have a replay somewhere that do the job. I'm going to explain that next week to you. Yeah, it's a pretty clever solution. Sorry for the little problem I've got, because I got this. I need to ask Jacob to share that version for me in the server, because this script here doesn't work if I'm not on server. Okay, so you need to be on server to have this working. Otherwise, it doesn't work. This file is only server. It's server only, and I don't have a server at my house. So. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a cool way. So it's not difficult to implement, and so especially that you can just replicate what I've done here, because it's not complicated. You have one table. You refer to one table, right? And you have in fact, you have two tables. You have the table where you have the matrix, right, with a few fields, very less than 10 fields, and then you have the field, the table where you have what's the name, all these coming up, right? So you have all the data coming up, and I don't remember where I'm doing this. Evaluate here on the text. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to explain that next week to you. Okay. So if you have another question, Sorry for my voice. I'm struggling with my voice. I'm very I apologize for that, but I did my best. But I hope that you don't. I hope you don't mind me. Doesn't have limits on how many texts number field. No, you don't. You don't. You don't have a. You don't have limits, David. Or how many text field and number field you want on? No, because as I said. Is no longer a pain because we have the object tree. Before, I wouldn't even talk about it. I wouldn't have talked about that before because it will be a pain. But now we can group and go inside, and you don't have to move anything. You don't have to change anything, but you can change the behavior. It's very cool. Question from yesterday, for tomorrow. This is super flexible. However, if I want to add logic, cross-checking, or business logic on certain property field and not others, it gets even more complicated. How would you approach this? Okay. I got this many times. Okay. So I have a version of this. I don't know where it is. I have a version of this that is extremely advanced. Okay, it's a prototype. It's a prototype I built a long time ago, but I don't have the right to show you more than that. So it was a contractor. Okay. So and we built something. We built the same logic. So if I remember well, so we build the same logic. We have a property, and we can even have a questioning. Let me show. Okay, so we have the possibility to add a property like this, but I was using kind of for the possibility to add a script. I don't remember which file I was using this technique. You can even trigger a script. Okay, now that we have, let me explain you. Stu. Now we have the possibility to tell FileMaker that's why I have script here, perform script, because I have an extended version of this when I can attach the name of a script, because now we have perform script by name. Okay, perform script by name. So now I can just put the name of the script I want this to trigger. Also, and it can be a script on server. You can imagine this. Okay. Also, you can have an extended calculation and put your logic, and you can put a logic. Let's say you want a logic like this. You want a logic, I don't know, like this. You want this logic, okay? You know the destination context. For example, you know that the destination context is T18F. So you go to the T18F, and then from there you can extend your logic, extend, okay, from there, and you can have an auto entry calculation or scripts that target that context, right? And you can just say here, you can just paste something like this. I'm struggling with all my windows. Where I was, yeah, let me go there. Okay, system. Okay, you can even put something like this. You know, you can put this, and this will be evaluated on when you launch it, right? So there's absolutely no problem here. You can add the logic you want on the field. You can add the possibility to trigger a script, and I encourage you to use perform script on server. Then you don't see anything. That means when you have the script here, when you have the script that initiate the population, you know, this script here, you know, when you go there and you go there, when you go there, nothing prevents you to perform scripts when you get the list of scripts, all the scripts you get when you import the fields, okay, and you can say, okay, on this field you want that script, on this field you have that script, on this field, so you can have a loop that performs the script that goes to a loop that goes to all the fields that you have. For example, let's say you here and you have a script on this one and you have a script on this one, you know. Let's say, no, on the three first you have a script here, script here, and script here. When you import those records here on the server, you do that on the server, of course, because the importation, the logic, and all the mechanism is performing on server. So on server, you say, wow, I have, based on these imports. So thank you, you imported everything. You evaluate. So now, before to evaluate, you can just say, select all the records of that batch, okay, of that import that gets attached a script. Go, and you have a loop. Go to the first record. Perform the scripts that you have on that record, and do the logic of the script. Whatever the script does, you do the logic, and you can return the result in the field. Okay. You go next record, perform the script that is on the attached to that record, and return the result. And you do that as many times as you want. You have a loop, right? So if you have three fields with a script, it will select the free field. If you have three records here with a script, it will select the free record, perform, return the logic, and then show you the logic here, right? It's absolutely not at all complicated. I tell you, it's not at all complicated, Stu. No, it's not triggers. It's performed. It's in the script, in this script here. So in the script 2785, in this script here, this script is on server. So whatever happened here is on server. So when you're ready here, I'm not doing this right now, but when you're ready here, you can add, you import here, okay? And then you can add a section that's a perform scripts, okay? And then you have a loop. Okay, so you go to the, you select, first of all, you need to select our, perform and find for all the imports that gets a script. So you have kind of a session ID or stuff like that, and you can select that. And then you say, okay, go to record first, and then you say, okay, perform scripts by name under the field ASTP, is this here. Go to layout ASTP. So you can say, okay, perform script ASTP, no, ASP, okay? ASP script name, I don't have it. But script name, script name. I don't have the field, but let's say I have it. Let's pretend I have it. Okay. So you perform the script by name on this record. okay, on this field, and you perform it, and you return, and you say, okay, set field ASP value import with whatever the logic, the return of logic. Okay, for example, let's say this will return. You have better. Here on this script here, you have an exit. You have an exit script step, and you say, okay, get script results. So you perform that script, and you set your field with the return of logic, and you perform this, and of course you are on server, so you do not perform script on server. It won't work. When you are on server, you need to perform the scripts. Okay, and you see, I mean, it sounds so freaking complicated, and it's not. Actually, it's not. It's yeah. Look, it's done. The logic is done. You have your logic. You have your logic. You perform the file to select only the record you imported with scripts. Okay, and then you say, okay, go to the first, perform whatever the logic is, whatever crazy your logic is on the script, and you return the logic. And you return the result with a get. It's look, it's freaking simple. It's freaking. I'm not saying the other one. It's freaking simple. Okay. Question: how does the property name pulls the value list based on the name? Okay, so it's 4:11. I have 2 additional days when I'm going to explain that. Yes, the jacuzzi. Soon I have the jacuzzi. Soon I have the jacuzzi. I think we're going to land the plane right now, because my voice is going away.
Yeah, you need a steamer.
Yeah, I need a steamer. Yeah.
All right. So, no, I think yesterday was like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then today started getting into it, so everyone's wheels are starting to spin. So keep those thoughts, keep those questions, because like Nick said, we'll be...
Okay, the last question I want to answer is Peter Gein's question, okay, before we go. When you do the PSOs with a lot of people at the same time, is performance not going down? No. I tell you why. I'll tell you right now, no. Not with that kind of scripts. That kind of script is like PAM. It's not like 2 hours at 100% of the activity. You know, you need to understand that when you have a script that goes like splang, and a script that stays 20 seconds, 15 seconds, or 2 minutes, or sometimes 2 hours, okay, like I saw sometimes. Of course, you cannot launch that multiple times. And the boss has a good example, and each time he's showing this, saying that when the script is performing on server, the button is no longer valid, is no longer available for clicking to everybody, okay? Until the script is done. Okay? Because if you launch that script twice, first of all, you get funky results, but you get also the server that explode, okay? So of course, if you launch script like this, your server is going to get down really quickly. But here we are talking about exporting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 fields, 11 records. We are going to export 11 records, import 11 records, right? 11 records. I'm not, okay. This technique is not for 2 million records. Actually, you don't want a property with 2 million records, right? Or you don't want a product, let's say product attributes or staff attribute or whatever photo metadata, for example. You know, I know, for example, I use that for a friend of mine, a photographer. And I use that technique because I say for each photo, I have a type of photos and I have my own attributes. You know, I have my own criteria, I have my own property because it's a photographer for professional, for technical, for the industry, for the pharmaceutical industry, for the advertisement industry. Okay. So for each type of photo, it has a different type of information that you need to have. And so use that technique with FileMaker. And of course, it has 20, 50 attributes. That's it. So that's why, no, the performance won't be affected. The performance is affected when you have a long script on server. And then you need to use the same technique the boss is using. That makes the possibility of triggering this script a second time before it's done the first time. You should deactivate that possibility to make the button deactivated. That's it. Okay, you can land.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, all right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Tomorrow we'll be with Christian Schmidt of Monkey Bread Plugin. And then, as we mentioned, Nick will be back talking more about this topic next Tuesday on the 7th. So thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, again he makes the grab.